Good morning, I'm Lenora Bresler. Welcome to the January 16th, 2017 edition of The Bible, Delight in the Details, where we look at often overlooked details of biblical passages to bring new depth and meaning to your Bible study. Well, today we're going to look at a word that is all over the Old and New Testaments. For example, in Mark chapter 7, verses 21 to 22, Jesus says, "For it is from within, out of a person's heart, that evil thoughts come, sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, greed, malice, deceit, lewdness, envy, slander, arrogance, and folly." The key word we want to focus on is heart. If you go to the back of your Bible to the concordance and you look up the word heart, you're going to find a plethora of verses in both the Old and the New Testaments talking about the heart. You'll find it all over, for example, Psalms, where King David asked God to search his heart, give him a new heart. Christ promises that his followers will receive a new heart. What is all this about the heart? Well, my friends, we are always the product of our generation, product of our times, and of the eras that have preceded them and shaped the way we in the current era view things. And this is certainly the truth when it comes to how we think about the heart. When most of us hear the word heart, we probably think about little pink and red cutouts like at Valentine's Day. And we think about the heart as being the seat of the emotions. I love you with what? All my heart. We think of that as showing how passionately invested emotionally we are over someone. But that is the product of us living on the other side of what is known as the Romantic era of the 1800s. Prior to that time, the heart was not generally thought of as the seat of the emotions, and certainly not in the ancient world. We put a lot of emphasis on being true to one's feelings, talking it out, saying, what you mean about how much you love someone, and even if you dislike them, being honest about it. That is something that came out of the Romantic era of the 1800s, when being very open, transparent, and, quote, true to your emotions, regardless of the consequences, was held to be the epitome or the ideal. I know a little bit about this because, as some of you know, I'm an English literature major, and my specialties were Shakespeare and the Romantic era. So I understand how the modern society has been completely changed in our feelings about romance and emotions, period. We have been absolutely shaped by that period of time in literature and music and philosophy. Now you might say, well, that's all very interesting, Lenora, but get back to the Bible. All right, I will. Whenever you read in the Bible the word heart, you need to not think of it so much as emotion as the will. Because in the ancient world, particularly in Hebrew thought, heart was thought to be where you made commitments, where you decided on factually based intentions. Therefore, whether you were going to act morally or immorally was thought to be a decision made by your heart, as opposed to the emotions. The emotions actually were thought to come from, or at least be felt, lower than that. And no, don't go there. I'm talking about in the belly. In fact, in the New Testament, several times we're told that Jesus was moved with great compassion, or he felt something very, very keenly. And the expression in the Greek in that situation that is used is moved in his bowels. And that probably refers to, you know how when you get scared or upset about something, how a lot of times your stomach starts to hurt? It probably comes from that physical sensation that most of us have known. When you feel great emotion, a lot of times it does, you feel it in your stomach area. So anytime in the Bible you hear anything about the heart, search my heart, give me a new heart, what it's really referring to is talking about your sense of will, your intentions, what you are committed to doing. It gives a whole new level, I think, of understanding to these kind of verses and others as well. For example, Jesus tells us to love our enemies. Now, if love is truly just an emotion, that's a ridiculous thing to order someone to have a certain feeling, emotion about someone. But if love is more an intention, more a deliberately chosen way of acting towards someone, then it makes sense. You can be ordered to love someone in that you are being told to act in a certain way regardless of how you feel. We need to love the Lord and others with all of our heart. That does not always mean that the emotions are always what we wish they were. It is more an intent. It is a commitment to the right and godly kind of living. Because emotions, they come and go. We must not be slaves to them. We must have an intent that is born in the true heart. I'm Lenora Bresler. Visit me tomorrow for the next edition of The Bible, Delight in the Details. Have a great day.